Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. Last day of January. Can you believe it? We're almost through the first month. That means 11 more to go this year. And I guess the good news is we don't write checks like we used to. We use these plastic things all the time, and so we probably haven't written 2017 on too many checks. Hey, a good program this morning. Clyde Haase, I guess actually technically it's the afternoon. Clyde Haase is going to be here. He's the host of House to Home on our station, but he's going to talk about a few things right now about the weather and so forth, but also he's in charge of a project out in the Spokane Valley. I call it the South Spokane Valley, Ponderosa Village, so we'll have a chance to talk with him. And then Katie Glaze and others from the Spokane Civic Theatre are going to be here, and they're going to talk about a one-night program this Friday night called York, and it's about the only black person on the Lewis and Clark exhibition. Exhibition, is it? It's yeah. Anyway, on the trip. All right. Can you tell it's the last day? Connor is calling the weather next on Spokane Talks Live.
Hello, Spokane. This is Connor from Spokane Talks Online with your 5-day weather forecast. Today looks to be partly sunny with a high of 38, while tonight looks to be mostly cloudy with a low of 28. Tomorrow we could see a chance of snow and then a chance of rain and snow. We look to see a 40% chance of rain in the morning and then cloudy after 5. And it looks like it's going to be a nice one Friday. We're going to have a high temperature of 47. Friday night we're going to see mostly cloudy skies with a low of 36. Saturday we're going to see cloudy skies again with a high of 45. While Saturday night looks to be we're going to have a chance of rain with a low of about 36. Sunday, we're going to have a 40% chance of rain with a high of 46, and Sunday night looks to be mostly cloudy with a low of 37. I hope you guys have a good day, and this was Connor with your 5-day weather forecast.
For the Inland Northwest most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back. It's an expedition.
Expedition.
All right, my guest
Well, I'll work with you, Ken.
Yeah, I know. Well, one of the few people that are older than me.
Oh, geez.
And that's hard to find these days.
Oh, come on.
Clyde Haase, how are you? You're 3 years older than me.
You know what? I enjoy senior living, okay?
Yeah, you do.
That's all it is, Ken.
The living part is the good part.
That is a positive
thing. Hey, Clyde, you're working on, we're going to talk about several things, but you're working on a project out in, actually not very far from where your shop is.
That's correct.
Haase Landscape. But a project out next to or near the old golf course out there in Painted Hills.
That is correct.
Do I have that right? And it's a new area, and it's going to be called Ponderosa Village.
Right.
Talk about that. What's it all about?
Well, I don't want to correct you, but it is an older established grocery store, a neighborhood grocery store.
Okay.
That's been there for, it's the fourth generation, but not the store right there, but the family who owns it has been in business for over 4 generations.
Oh, wow.
That's in the process of being 4th generation.
Okay. So back when dinosaurs were roaming, right?
Well, not quite, when dirt was built.
Okay, dirt was built.
Okay. So with that being said, as a landscape architect, I've always dealt with land planning and heavily involved in the regulations and the guidelines.
Right, right.
I worked in land use, and so I've known this family for a good many years, and the existing site is about a 5-acre site.
Oh,
with
is it that big?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
with a grocery store on it.
Okay.
And it's called Barney's.
Okay. Okay.
And that name was established 30 years ago.
Okay.
So everybody relates to Ponderosa
Barney's.
Village as Barney's.
Okay.
That is correct.
But some things are changing.
Well, exactly. And so what we've done is that I was brought in, they said, you know what, Clyde, now that you've retired, and I said, okay.
Yeah, how's that working?
Well, we'll talk. That's why it's all senior living.
Yeah.
It's experiences that you'll find that
Yeah.
some of the battles you had when you were younger, you can actually share, and you learn by your mistakes.
Right,
That,
right.
Mom always told me that.
Yeah, I never made mistakes, but I'm sure it happens.
Well, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, Ken. So anyway, I was brought in to say, hey, Clyde, what can we do with this project?
Okay.
And so I started laying it out about a year and a half ago. And I timing is everything.
Yes.
I don't care what it is. And so the owners of it are saying, well, how does it look for economy and this and that? And I says, throw the basket up in the air and see what happens.
yeah.
And so far we've been pretty darn lucky. Economy has been really holding on strong. And,
Right.
and I went back to the family and said, I think timing is right. And so we're servicing a neighborhood that has an excess of 10,000
That
resident
many? Okay.
rooftops.
Okay.
And they're getting ready to build another 300 to 500 of them down at Painted Hills.
Okay.
They're getting ready to put in another 300 to 400
So it's only going to
apartments.
grow.
It's only going to grow. And to get to Spokane, you have to go down Dishmamika.
Okay.
Well, guess what? We are on that track.
Uh-huh.
So it's been exciting to bring it together. Quickly, we hired 3 architects, and we said, we've got some suggestions. I made some plans already of
Right.
laying out what could be done. There was
But
about
do
2 or 3.
something with it.
But now be creative, and what would you think should happen? We did that, and we got another 4 or 5. So then I said, okay, thank you. I bought your plans. I want to now put together the finished package of what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Because of its location, Kent, everybody talks about the South Hill, or they'll talk about the North Side, Shadle Park area,
Right.
or Northtown area. Ours is called Ponderosa.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
at the Ponderosa entrance. We are on the main drag coming in from out of town, which is the Dishmamika. The
It's
furniture.
definitely a known part of town.
It's a known part of town. It has
Right.
identity, and it's like anything else, Kent. We have to begin to identify name branding.
Right.
And so that's where we arrived at that. Zoning has been existing already there. It was
So
all commercial.
That's not an issue, is it?
It's not an issue.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, God bless us. Anyway, the bottom line is that, and all the infrastructure is all on the streets. The street is there. We're going to make some improvements to it. We're looking at putting a turn lane in off of Dishmamika.
Okay.
We're looking at 5.
So you don't
to-
have cars backing up
Nope,
and all of that?
not a problem with that.
Gosh, great.
And so we have all of the water, sewer, and all of that. And so we've been looking at, we did buy an adjacent building, and some of our viewers may know it as TJ's Poorhouse Tavern.
Okay.
And it was what it sounds like.
And when you say was, is because it
It
was.
a has. It's
Yeah.
a has been.
Yeah.
And it is now just dirt.
Yeah.
Of course, it was dirt before,
Yeah,
but anyway.
I was going to say that, but I'm trying to be nice.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we brought that in. We brought that one into the fold,
Okay.
and we're maybe looking at other stuff that we brought in.
Right.
But the interest is tremendous. The family has said, hey, Clyde, run with this thing. Let's see what we're going to do with it.
Okay.
I said, you've got to get the word out. You've got to involve the neighborhood. What do they want to?
Right.
They're going to, I want them to be coming home and say, oh, honey, by the way, stop and pick up the grocery, pick up a bottle of milk, pick
Right.
up
Pick up the cleaning, pick up the-
whatever,
yeah.
anything. And it's right in and pull in, and there's a grocery store or what other businesses will be there.
Right.
Or on the way to work, you're going to pick up some donuts and pick up some coffee and go to the donut.
So you expect that to be a cop shop?
Well, I don't know
Donuts
about
and-
I don't know about a cop shop, but you can have that. We have some new creative ideas. Anyway, so then from that survey, we have over 500 feedback from the neighborhood.
So what kinds of things did you learn from that?
Well, I learned to listen.
Was it mainly positive?
It was all. We have only had one comment negative.
Okay.
And I guarantee you, folks, one comment. And the one comment was, it may bring more crime. And I responded and says, really, it's going to bring more looking at everything, and we're going to have You know, the police are going to be there off and on. You know, we're going to have more
We're
activity
gonna have
going on.
security cameras and everything
Security
else,
and
so-
everything. So I mean,
yeah.
it's not a big issue.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest items is that people are asking, and be more than happy to share with you, Kent. We even broke it down to finalize it out.
Wow.
They broke it down, but the big item is food.
Okay.
The American society seems to
Yes.
enjoy food, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And a family restaurant and
Okay.
a lower end, but a gathering spot so that you could have that.
Not a 5-star restaurant.
No,
Yeah.
we want a family restaurant that you can come and it can actually join in and even have a small pub if
Kind
you
of
want
a
to.
neighborhood
Yeah.
restaurant.
They may have on tap 10 to 15 beer taps. I'm
Right.
not a beer drinker, but
Right.
per se.
Right.
But they're going to have a family setting. They're going to have coffee if you want to meet there and have a cup of coffee and
Right,
have
right.
a sandwich. It's a gathering spot. It's a village.
Okay.
It's a village. We are using unified with planning to say there's 5 structures basically on this
Okay.
acreage right now.
Okay.
We may add more later, but that isn't a real positive thing. But the issue is 5 for sure. You come there for a destination. You can go to a doggy boutique.
Okay.
You can go grab some donuts along the way.
Okay.
You can go grab a coffee if you want to on the way.
Right.
You can go shop and have your groceries.
And a market, yes.
A market.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and we just go down this given list. You want to get your hair cut there. We'll have a salon sitting there.
Okay.
The neighborhood
Will there be
drove us.
fast food, you think, of some sort?
I
mean,
have
this is all speculation.
all
at this point,
speculate.
right?
I have interest has been stated by that.
Okay.
I have national.
Banking or credit union?
You know
think?
what? That was a low item. We had
Really?
very few people that said,
Okay.
we got enough banks as it is. They're
Okay.
all over the place. And of course, everything's being done electronically.
I was going to say today, you can
Yeah.
deposit checks from your phone.
Well,
so-
yeah. So that was not a big issue.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
but we may. But right now, it was not on our high priority list. The items that were personalized service to even have a personal trainer there
Okay.
to go ahead and have where I'm going to say, let's go down and you have a hair appointment for a male or female.
Right.
But you're going to have a spot that you can, hey, listen, let's go down there together. I'll grab a cup of coffee and I'll
Right.
sit there and wait on the outside area. That we're going to have pavers out there. It's going to be a real neighborhood good feeling.
I got to ask if there was there something that came up on the list that surprised you in terms of feedback?
One gentleman said, I want a knife shop. I want a spot for old folks to relax.
Okay.
You know,
Coffee shop would work.
No, the words were an old folks daycare.
Oh.
I got a kick out of it. You know, we all kind of
Isn't
had
that
some.
your house?
We all had humor, Ken. but those were some off
Yeah.
the wall, you know.
Okay.
But people want to move in, get what I need, move out,
Right.
have a.
Right. 1 or 2 stops and then go
That's
home
exactly.
or on the way to work.
Or you can call in, or even a donut shop that they call in, or send in a text. I'll be there in 10 minutes. My name is so. I want donuts
or
to go.
home delivery, a pizza or something else.
All the
too.
above, or
Yeah.
food delivery from the restaurant.
Right.
We will have a main restaurant there. We'll have some other.
You're not going to
small.
tell me who they might be, are you?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But we're having excitement. And the one thing I want to tell you first, everything that people are feeding back, we want to have localized businesses.
Yes. Good. That's important.
And that's feedback.
And we do that here too. We really
Yes.
look. The last place we buy is like Amazon or something when we can't get it locally. But we, as a station here, really make
Yep.
an effort to buy the locally grown, the locally produced, locally sold items.
Right. One of the things we will have is probably a Amazon drop mailbox location. That way you have
security, yeah, that
That's
makes
my whole
sense.
point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll be there, and those are the things for the future. We're going to have electric car stations.
Okay. All right.
So you see, we are looking for the future of what's taking place in Spokane.
Fun.
And
So what's the
we're-
timeline on this?
Well-
it's all going to be done by this spring?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Right, Kent. It's like anything I said in the beginning, the economy is doing well.
Yeah.
Subcontractors, they're having challenges. How are we going to get the work done? Right now, you're taking a number, and we are looking, because we have to do a lot of the infrastructure
Right,
this
right.
spring, we're looking at May, June.
Okay.
We're looking down the road to say, okay, you will have your business, you could start opening up, is going to be in July, August, September, somewhere in that period of time.
Okay.
Then we start the next phase again.
Yeah.
Because I have
'Cause you
had
have 5 phases?
no. I'm saying we're going to have at least 2 to 3.
Ah, okay.
We have had such a fantastic response, Kent, and I cannot tell you, people said, you got to be kidding. I have people right now calling me as I was sitting in the parking space just now, coming here, says, we heard about it. We'd like to say, would you be willing to take our name? And here's what our shop is. And I said, we meet. There's 9 of us that meet once a week. We talk about it.
Nice.
We have a mix that we're bringing together.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what the cake looks like. I know what I want.
Yeah.
But we're putting it together
Well,
with the
you
ingredients.
don't want 3 pizza shops and things like
No,
that.
it
doesn't do any of them any good. So.
Or 3 coffee shops. We don't want that either.
Right.
So the doggy boutique, and things like that are saying, well, what is that? Well, guess what? It's a place because people love animals.
Yes.
We're in a household neighborhood area.
Exactly.
So that's what we've been doing.
All right. Well, this is fun. You'll keep us
I'm having
posted.
fun at it. It's my retirement. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
Well, you and I both
It's
have,
Energizer.
have, as Sulani says, failed retirement.
I have failed big
Yeah,
time.
Big time, too. Yeah, here.
because I've got many years ahead of you.
We're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
And the weather, as you saw when you came in yesterday and today, is pretty nice. That gives us a false hope that we're in spring, and we're not yet. We're going to talk about what that means for your yard after we take this break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Again, my guest is Clyde Haase. And let's switch from, you wear a lot of hats, including vacation hat pretty soon.
Yes.
But you, we just had your organizer hat on for the Ponderosa Village. The,
Right.
Project manager, I guess, would be
Right.
the title. Now put your host hat on and expertise of house to home. And you just told me during the commercial break it's still nice out there today. And it was
is.
nice yesterday. I saw the sunshine. In fact, on Monday, I washed down the driveway.
No,
it was
really?
so nice at 55 degrees.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
No frozen pipes out
Yeah,
there or
yeah.
anything. However, as my wife reminds me, it's probably not going to stay that way between now and May, springtime, is it?
Well, I want you to begin to look at your checkoff list, Kent.
Yeah. Let me guess. Rain gutters.
Rain gutters. Kent, you hit the nail on the head. But,
Yeah.
there's projects that we didn't get to last fall.
Yes.
That are, this is the opportunity that we need to take advantage of. And take a look at the roses that you covered up. Take a look at your lawn and see how the little moles kind of went through the grass. Begin to think ahead of planning ahead and to take care of that. And if you hadn't take care of the rain gutters, make sure it's a safe time to climb.
Because we are going to get rain.
You are going to have rain, and that's what I'm looking forward to, but you got to make sure those gutters are working right, or the dispensable water from the gutters.
Right.
Get it away from the home.
That's a
Because
good
the ground is really wet out there.
Is it time to turn on the water on the
No.
outside? Okay.
Is it time to plant? No. It is a time to review,
Okay.
to look at things openly and say, in 60 days, what am I going to do?
Yeah, because you always have preached on the major holidays, it's time to take
That's
care
correct.
of our lawn and plants and so forth.
That is correct.
And that really, the next one coming is Easter, which I believe is on April 1st.
It's
Something
April.
like
yeah,
that.
it's the end of,
End
you're
of
right.
March, 1st,
yeah.
1st of April.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
And so we want to prepare. That might be a time to go out and even buy the fertilizer and so forth, see if you can get it on
Right.
sale.
Well, right now it's a point of saying, yes, dear, I have that on my schedule. I'm going to take care of it, and here is my plans. And she's
But
going to say,
she's still going to bug you weekly.
No, well, I know. Well, you're in the same boat I
Yeah,
am.
I
So, Figure a good answer, but get a plan in place. What are you going to do with it? Get your fertilizer ready to go. You are correct. Always identify the holidays as your guideline for fertilization, checking the sprinkler system. I mean, anything.
All of that.
Dormant spray is real important to line up with your contractor right now.
Okay.
Aeration.
Okay.
The ground has all been get on their list now, because if you wait too long,
you're going to be way down the list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got plenty of work for you to do now, Kent.
Okay. All right. Any other tips we should give folks?
Enjoy life. Have fun.
Okay.
Find
we are
new
all
things.
going to enjoy our life because somebody heads to the warm California sunshine for a month or so.
I will be gone until the middle of April, I hope.
All right. No, I shouldn't be so excited.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
No, and we're
We all
looking
do.
forward. Yeah, it'll be fun.
So.
And I remember the very first time you went down there and you're sending me pictures of you guys
Of
sitting
course.
out in the warm jacuzzi. And I think you timed it when we had snowfall here, didn't you?
Timing, as I said, is everything, Kent.
Yeah. Thanks, Clyde. Good,
You're welcome,
so
Kent.
good to have you here. Safe travels. Though,
Thank
really.
you.
That's important. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about York at the Spokane Civic Theatre next.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the Don. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams, and I've got three guests here, and of course, none of them have names like Jones or Adams. So, I was blessed with Kent Adams. Actually, my first name is John. So, from there, it gets much more difficult in life. All right, so here it is. Susan Hardie.
Yes, that's right.
And you've been around involved in productions and things here in Spokane, because I've seen your name for years.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Lots of theater.
Seneca Smith.
That is correct.
And we're going to talk about something special that you're doing
Indeed.
with the program.
Indeed.
And Brian Hardino?
Harnato.
Okay.
Or Harnano.
Okay, hard to know. Okay. And you too have been around for some time. You've written plays and everything, haven't you?
Yep,
Yeah.
going back to the last millennium.
Yeah, well, people claim that I wrote dinosaurs, so I mean, it is what it is. when our Colin Pittman said you got to have these folks on to talk about this, the one thing that immediately caught my attention was the write-up on the webpage about what this is. And it's the only black person to go on the expedition with Lewis and Clark. As somebody who loves history, I wish I had loved it more back in high school and college, but don't we all?
I actually got a degree in it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh boy,
that much.
I want to talk to you.
I went to school for it. I had to have it. I had to know.
And it's so great. And this is a one-person play.
That's correct.
And it's a one performance, but you've done it before at the Civic, right? 2005, I think it was.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
It was a full run back in 2005 at the Civic
Oh,
Theatre.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, how did I miss it then? Anyway.
But it'll also be at the MAC as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if people miss it at the Civic, to
Okay.
go to the MAC's Museum of Arts and
Culture,
excuse
right.
me. And that information will be there for
Okay.
individuals as well.
So tell me why this was selected and what is this? Give a little history about this, one of you, will you?
I think, Brian, that's
Brian.
probably your...
I'm going to ask you to move your microphone just a little closer.
In around 2005, which was about the time of the bicentennial for Lewis and Clark expedition, I was asked by Gonzaga University in advance of that if I was interested in doing a play about Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
And I was honored to be asked, and I spent quite a few months researching, and I came up empty. They wanted something for the students, something with on a big canvas.
Yeah.
And so I had to say no. I mean, sometimes you just
Yeah.
you don't come up with it.
Well, you want to say no if you can't really be
right.
creative. I mean,
and good or bad, I need to be compelled to do something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a matter of weeks later. I woke up one morning and there was York at the end of my bed. Literally,
Really?
I mean, I thought that's the story here.
Wow.
And that wasn't what they were looking for, a one-man show. And I had worked with David Castile before,
Okay.
Who is a fabulous actor and a gifted djembe drummer.
Okay.
Studied drumming in Africa and a number of different locations. And I thought, I wonder if David wants to do this with me. And he did. And so kind of arm in arm, we built this play. He had primary responsibility for the djembe drum rhythms and coordinating the Native American recordings that are the background for the play. And then I was responsible for writing the book, so to speak.
Right.
But he helped me more with the book than I helped him with the drumming. 'Cause I can't drum.
We do have to know our limitations, right?
So anyway, that was the origins of the play, and then
Yeah.
the Civic put it up in 2005. And actually the Civic put it up again with Modern Theater both in 2016. So
Okay.
this is like its fourth incarnation. And
Okay.
David, the impetus came this time from David wanting to revive it and look at it one more time, and we're trying to get it out there into the culture. We strongly believe in this story, and he wanted to tell it again. And so he's touring it, and the tour begins this Friday.
Okay.
Main stage at the Civic.
Okay. Give a little history about what this is about. York's story.
It's the story of the first black man who accompanied Lewis, the only black man who accompanied Lewis and Clark on the expedition.
What was his connection? Why
York
was he?
actually Clark's slave.
Yeah.
He was his manservant.
Yeah.
And, Brian breathes life into this character as the playwright that may or may not have really reflected exactly what happened on the journey, but that's, of course, what a playwright does.
Right.
And so York finds his voice through the journey in different ways, but by and large, a gift of a drum from the Mandans, the Mandan chief Shehiki, is the impetus behind York actually finding his voice through the drum. And previously in the play, earlier in the play, York speaks about his father's drum and how they would go to the woods and they would drum, and this was how they really were able to connect with their own past.
Right.
And so it figures prominently in the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about how it goes. Does it start at the beginning of the expedition, or?
Well, it's not told entirely linearly, but
Okay.
what we can say is actually York started as Clark's childhood companion from the age of 4.
Wow.
And so we do pick up their relationship, which is quite close at that time with the innocence of childhood.
Right, right.
And then we see the distance grow between them through the cultural differences and the
So
role
we
of
follow
master.
the truth of what happened, really.
We do.
Yeah,
And
in
we see-
life.
we see
I mean,
the estrangement. And
Yeah.
at one point, York says in the play, Billy's gone. It's now Master Clark, when once he was Billy. to York.
Okay.
And so it is about York's awakening, ultimately, to
How things
his loss
have
of freedom
changed.
and how things have changed,
Yeah.
and his growing awareness of his own voice and freedom, as Susan was speaking.
Okay, that brings up a question. As an audience member, as they watch that happens, what happens to the audience as they see that, as he changes from Billy from that childhood innocence, which we should all be, to what becomes the reality of the time? Does the audience react? Do they react silently? Do you see any emotion?
Oh, I've spoken with audience members that by the time the play is done are really quite emotionally involved with this journey that we take along with York, and so yeah, I think there's a great investment on the audience's part, and it's our job to keep the audience invested. I mean, as a director, I had never directed a one-man show before.
Okay.
There are unique challenges with the one. I mean, I personally was on stage with a one-woman show,
Right.
so I was able to get some. I thought about that experience,
But still,
it's daunting. How wonderful, however, to have a talent like David Castile to direct. And I think we've managed to find ways to keep audiences invested and excited.
Yeah.
And of course, Brian's script and David's drumming.
it all comes down
really-
to the script, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it really
Yeah.
does. And it
Well,
really
it's the
propels
story.
the story.
Yes.
And I guess the interesting thing, and the thing that I think keeps what you want in a play is the audience to say what's going to happen next.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you look at Undaunted Courage, the Ambrose book or whatever, the story is typically about getting there.
Yes.
To the coast. It's not about getting back and the aftermath.
Okay.
And the end of this play is about what happens when this man who's experienced enormous freedom and the beauty of this journey comes back to the world of slavery.
Ah, okay.
And there's where then you ask the audience, where do you stand? Because Clark won't emancipate him.
Okay.
And now that's subject to some historical dispute, by the way.
Okay.
But we had to make some choices
Yeah,
about
yeah.
where this ends and what happens to York.
Yeah, not everything is on video from those days, or on our phones. Today you can't go anywhere without being caught on video and cataloged, if you will. But gosh, this sounds great. Seneca, did I get your name right?
That is correct,
Okay.
Seneca.
You're planning to do what with this play on Friday?
So we are.
I'm going to ask you to speak just a little so we get
sure.
your booming
How's
voice.
that?
Yeah, that's
Mic
great.
check 1 2.
Yeah. He's done it before.
Indeed. My company, Chess Brigade Multimedia, is partnering with the Civic in order to help preserve this content by way of film.
Okay.
We will be filming the theatrical production live on the 2nd, and we will prepare it for distribution. It'll be on CMTV, Channel 14 as well.
Okay, good.
As well as available through the internet, Facebook. All of the information will get out to the people so that they can definitely check it out. But one of the main reasons why we wanted to do this film was because of what you said earlier. There is no video from that time frame. And I think in this day and age, we're truly blessed to be able to document our lives and what we're
a visual
experiencing.
society too. Let's face it.
And of course,
today.
we have to be. We have eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we figured it'd be very wise, it'd be fruitful to film this production so that the story can continue, at least in this form.
Yes.
It can go out to a broader market faster, and just be a prolific way of letting people see the journey, get an understanding of the story.
Yeah.
And
well,
what it takes.
and not everyone's going to be able to go on
attend.
Friday
That's
night. Let's
correct.
face it. We have classrooms full of young minds that here's an opportunity for history.
Indeed.
And to learn things. Plus, I think the uniqueness of the one-person cast and some of the challenges that you were talking about for those who are interested in drama.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To be able to watch that, I've got to ask you. You mentioned the challenges of a one-person cast. What are some of those?
Well, there are unique challenges, and in particular in our case, because we have created this show to travel.
Okay.
So we never know where we're going to land, what
Okay.
circumstances we're going to land in.
Okay.
I mean, we could be on a set of risers with no lights. We could
Okay.
be in a beautiful theater with lots of technical
Yeah,
support.
yeah.
So we've created this show with a set that travels with us, costumes
Smart.
that, all that stuff
Yeah.
that travels with us. The challenge here is to create a physical environment that allows the actor to use different levels, that allows the actor to move around a lot so that we're not seeing just one guy standing in one place. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of movement in the show.
Which is more engaging to the audience.
It's very much more
Yeah.
engaging to the audience, and to make sure that David at every turn understands where he is in the play, what he's saying, and the dynamics continue throughout the evening. It's just very difficult to do. It's an 80-minute show,
Wow.
and it's one guy up there for 80 minutes jumping around
Do you have a
and
break,
playing
or
drums.
do you just go?
Oh, no.
You just go straight.
We go straight through.
Oh, wow.
That's correct. So
Oh my gosh! As somebody who can't memorize anything, I'm enamored by the talent it takes to do that. Because as you can see, I have the cue card of who I'm going to introduce today. Okay,
Sure.
And that's not age, although I guess I could blame it. It's been true for my lifetime. In the old days, being last name Adams in 7th and 8th grade, when you had to memorize a poem, I
You
was
were
either
first
first or last, and no matter which one, I would mess it up. I just could not memorize. Some of us have that talent, and some of us don't. I'm one who doesn't have that talent. But, oh my gosh, 80 minutes. That's something to keep the audience engaged, to keep on script, and so forth. I imagine once in a while there's a little ad-libbing and in character.
I suppose he's been doing this for 12 years now,
Oh,
on
okay.
and off.
Okay,
So
he does it in sleep. So
so he, but every time we bring
Yeah.
it back,
Yeah.
he has to rememorize.
Yeah.
But he's
Oh,
really
wow.
pretty extraordinary.
Wow.
Yeah.
And really, it's too bad David isn't here because
Yes.
he's such a gifted actor and djembe drummer. But to portray not only York
Yes.
at different phases of his life,
Oh, yeah.
but all other characters in the play.
Really?
He has many voices that speak in the play, from Sacagawea to Clark himself to Meriwether Lewis. And
So you wrote a pretty complex script, didn't you?
well, we developed a pretty complex script because it can't just be one talking head in one voice.
Wow. Just to see that happen, to me, would be amazing.
when York sees the Rockies for the first time,
Oh, my
we
gosh.
need to see the Rockies for the
Yes.
first time. When York sees the Pacific Ocean for the first time,
So
we
did
need to-
Brian paint a good picture?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
and also too, though, but again, wishing David was here, because David, not only is he playing all of these roles, but he's physically playing all these roles. He's moving on the stage. He's doing a lot of things, and I had the pleasure of spending some time with him, off stage, if you will, and got to know his workout.
Yeah, yeah.
and it's intense. It's real. It's
you're
real.
You're glad it's him doing it.
No, well, I mean, I had a great time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a Marine, so I'm into these things.
Okay.
Well, this may tell you something.
Yeah.
When he learned drumming, he didn't just get a book and a recording. He went to Ghana, and he went into the interior without knowing any of the language and drummed with elders.
But not just Ghana. David's been to Africa 12 times since 2000. I don't think there's too many Americans, period, that's been to Africa that many times in their lifetime, not even politicians.
Yeah.
So he didn't just go to one country. This man literally took the time to go back to the continent.
Well, you're making me more excited as we talk.
Oh, you got to check it out.
The reason why he's not here today is because he's a school teacher.
Okay.
That's what he does for a living.
Oh, wow.
He teaches 6th graders.
Yeah.
The first
yeah.
black male school teacher in Spokane, as a matter of fact.
right.
So he's making history as he's telling
Absolutely.
Forget about York.
Yes.
You should interview him because he's a treasure in this community.
Yes. Put me in
Definitely.
touch with him. Afterwards, we'll have him in. Okay, let's do a shameless promotion for Friday night. And I say that because if our viewers love history, we are part of Lewis and Clark's trip.
Indeed.
By where we live.
That's right.
Not
Indeed.
very far from here. And especially older people, self-included, who start to really enjoy history. I look back and so disappointed I didn't push my grandfather more about the cavalry that he was in growing up,
right.
and so forth. And it was, that's history, I take it in class. And I wish I had captured the things that, so I'm glad you captured this experience, even if it's a little off here and there, to capture the opportunity to talk about this.
Right.
Well, and I think we stand behind most of the historical facts here, and actually we've been vetted by a lot of Lewis and Clark historians who have put their magnifying glass to it. The one thing I want to say is about history is I personally, and I think this is true for David, am influenced by the Howard Zinn view expressed particularly in the people of the United States, that history also needs to be told by the vanquished. And this is not about Lewis and Clark. This is about York.
Yes.
And they are only incidental to this story.
Well, you see, and I didn't even know about York. So there's a whole education about that. Now, maybe I had heard about him at some point, but I don't recall in the PBS programs or anything hearing much. At least I didn't walk away from any of that going, there was a black man on that expedition. Okay, so I either missed it or it wasn't covered well enough.
I will say Charles Russell did a very famous painting of York in the Mandans.
Okay.
That I think is in the museum in Great Falls. But
Okay.
there are only a handful of references in the journals themselves to York.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Less than probably one page
Oh, wow.
of those journals
Wow.
was devoted to York.
Okay, shameless promotion. Friday night, Civic. What time?
7:30 curtain.
Okay, 7:30 curtain. So if people want tickets, where do they go right now?
I would call Civic Theatre box office
Okay.
325-2507.
Okay.
And you can also go to the Civic Theater's website.
Okay.
And you can purchase tickets right
Online.
from the
Okay.
page.
Yeah, everything's online today, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Or if you haven't purchased your tickets, come on over on Friday night and
There'll be
we'll
some-
get you in.
Yeah, or if you're old-fashioned, just go to the ticket office and walk up and ask for a couple of tickets during
Yeah.
their box office hours.
Right.
That's still an option in this cyber
We never
world.
think about that.
Good
Are you
exercise,
kidding
too.
me? I think that's great. Yeah, but maybe by the time we're gone, though, that won't be available. But for another couple
It'll
of
be
decades.
virtual box
Yeah,
office.
virtual. All right. Hey, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing the production as well and so forth. Best of luck. I guess not being an actor, but break a leg to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. There are a few I really literally mean that, but that's not you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, it's great. It's the Civic Theater, the award-winning Civic Theater. We are so blessed to have this community theater that really is professional when it comes down.
71st year.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
and just so
71st
folks
year.
know, because the play originally premiered in the studio theater, the smaller theater
Yes,
downstairs.
you're upstairs now?
We're upstairs now.
All right.
Yeah, on the main stage.
Okay, excellent, excellent. That's great. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank
For
you.
Thank
all
you,
of you
Ken,
coming.
very much.
Have a great week. We'll see you in February on the 7th. Have a good week.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.